That name.
Welcome back to Recap IT. Today we are going to recap a 2003 dark comedy movie titled Bad Santa. A miserable con man and his partner pose as Santa and his little helper to rob department stores on Christmas Eve. But they run into problems when the con man befriends a troubled kid. But before we begin, please consider subscribing to this channel. Now without wasting any further time, let's begin, shall we? We first see Willie at the start of the movie. He is a recovering alcoholic. He consumes alcohol on a daily basis. Willie, on the other hand, is a master lockpicker. Willie and his diminutive assistant, Marcus Skidmore, are professional burglars who every year dress up as a department store Santa Claus and his elf and loot the business on Christmas Eve. Every Christmas, the couple adopts a new name and moves to a different town to work in a new store. Each year, they rob the business after it closes on Christmas Eve, then split up, only to reunite the following festive season to repeat the process. Willie has little regard for himself, his associate Marcus, or his wife Lois. Willie swears to quit drinking and never put on the Santa costume again after their most recent assignment. Willie's alcoholic ways continue 11 months later in Miami, where he spends his days drinking and committing petty robberies. Willie forgets his commitment when he gets the call from Marcus and heads to Phoenix for his next assignment. Marcus and Willie's duet act replaces the existing Santa at the Saguaro Square Mall. Bob Chipeska, the prudish department store manager, quickly regrets his decision when Willie loses control of his temper and speaks in a filthy manner. Despite this, Marcus persuades Bob to hire them. Willie's downward spiral of drinking and thievery begins as soon as he gets a job. After catching Willie, Bob becomes enraged and resolves to fire both Santa and his little elf. Marcus and Willie, on the other hand, persuade Bob that firing on an African American little person will result in a lot of bad press for the department store, so they keep their jobs. Despite this, Bob expresses his worries to Gin Slagle, the security chief. Slagle starts looking into the store, Santa, and his elf. Willie is barely amusing visiting children one day due to his inebriation. Thurman Merman, an overweight boy, pays him a visit. Thurman is a dimwit who believes Willie is the real Santa Claus. Thurman is also bullied by a group of adolescent skateboarders on a regular basis. Thurman decides to accompany Willie to a local club one night. Willie is fortunate enough to meet Sue, a bartender with a Santa fetish. Willie is attacked by an unknown individual who appears to despise Santa Claus after Sue has left. Thurman steps in to assist Willie and chases the strange man away. To thank Thurman, Willie gives him a ride home. When Willie arrives to Thurman's residence, he discovers that Thurman lives alone with his senile grandma. Thurman's mother has passed away, and his father is serving time in prison. When Willie realizes there isn't a responsible adult in the house, he goes about the house seeking for stuff to take. As Thurman waves absently goodbye, he settles for stealing the Merman family's BMW. When Willie arrives at his rundown motel room, he discovers that his room is being searched. He returns to Thurman's house and decides to stay at the hideout with the lonely youngster and his grandmother. Marcus is enraged at Willie for attracting too much attention to himself. Slagle investigates Marcus and Willie more and learns that Willie is living with Thurman. He looks into the boy's past and speaks with Thurman's father in prison, who has no knowledge of Willie's presence in the residence. Rather than reporting the operation to the authorities, Slagle confronts Willie and Marcus about it. He blackmails the two vacation crooks, telling them that as long as he gets half of the profits, they can continue with the enterprise. Slagle's request for the stolen money and items irritates Willie and Marcus, but they don't see a way out of the security officer's grasp right once. Willie and Marcus' relationship is deteriorating as Willie's drinking becomes more serious. Willie begins to arrive at work inebriated, and Marcus and Slagle grow tired of Willie's destructive conduct. Willie, at the end of his tether, attempted suicide by inhaling exhaust fumes from the Merman car's tailpipe in the Merman garage. Thurman intervenes in the suicide attempt, and Willie offers him a suicide note in which he admits his misdeeds, which he should hand over to the cops after he's gone. Willie observes Thurman has a black eye and, after learning that the boy acquired it from some skateboarder bullies, he abandons his suicide attempt and goes after the skating kids. Marcus and Lois, on the other hand, refuse to give in to Slagle and prepare a trap for him. Marcus pretends to have automobile problems on the side of the road, and when Slagle comes to their aid, Lois crushes the security officer between the two cars and kills him. Willie plans to spend Christmas Eve with Sue, Thurman, and Granny at the Merman residence, unaware of Slagle's death. Willie interrupts the celebrations to complete the robbery with the help of Lois and Marcus. Despite his best efforts to ruin the project, The intoxicated department shop is broken into by Willie, Marcus, and Lois. Willie, on the other hand, discovers that the store's industrial-size safe is reputedly indestructible and wonders if he can crack it. Regardless, Willie opens the safe and then searches for a plush elephant, which Thurman had requested from his Santa for Christmas. Willie is surprised to learn that Marcus and Lois intend to shoot the pink elephant after becoming fed up with his increasing recklessness. Before Marcus can shoot Willie, the cops arrive suddenly and surround the three outlaws. The police, who were alerted to the robbery by Willie's letter to Thurman, start a running shootout with Marcus and pursue Willie. Santa the thief flees and drives away in his stolen automobile, trying to deliver the stolen elephant to Thurman. Willie makes it to Thurman's house, but he is shot numerous times in front of scores of children on the Merman house's porch. Willie miraculously survives. He gets imprisoned, and while there, he writes to Thurman and gives him gifts. Willie earned a reduced sentence due to public anger over the Phoenix Authorities Department shooting an unarmed Santa Claus in the rear in front of children, and the fact that Willie wrote the letter informing the police of the robbery, according to a letter to Thurman. Thurman is also informed in the letter that Marcus and Lois have been imprisoned, and Sue has been appointed as Thurman's legal guardian. Willie concludes by saying that he will see Thurman soon. This is the final scene of the film. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, until next time.